Hello and welcome back to Crafting with Amanda. We're going to make those two cute cards today. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. That would help me a lot. Comments and likes also help get the message to other people. These are the tools that we're going to use for the cards today. There was glue and then a small, it's like a mouse pad foam. That's I can't even think of what it's called, my stamp cleaner. Scissors, bone folder, emery file. I pulled out the black cardstock. I'd used it in some earlier cards. I didn't end up using it on the two that we do today. So let's get started. We're going to do card number 11. And I'm going to speed up the camera here when I go to punch out all of the stars because it takes a little bit of time. But in the kit you get the window acetate and foam to do the shaker cards. Makes it so easy. So here it is sped up. I'm just going to divide the plunder between the two cards, and I'm only going to put together one of the two today. There's actually two sheets of die cuts there, so that's why I'm just punching them out and then split one to each pile. So then once we get that taken care of, I will slow things down again and walk you through what I did to make the card. Alright, so I like to first look at what the creators of the card thought would look nice. I'm just turning over all the stars so I can see the colors. And finishing punching out those die cuts. You don't need that center star thing. You could use that as a stencil for a future card if you wanted, just to give us that kind of a splattering of stars. Again, I'm probably going to go with a birthday sentiment here because I have so many to send out. I've been remiss this year with everything going on. In the midst of COVID, we've had to pack up where we were renting and move everything into a garage where we bought a house, and the house is all demolished. So we're kind of rough camping in our house, which is funny to say, but we are. All right, and I said I think you're the kind of best ever. And that comes in the stamp set that came with the Craft with Heart workshop. I'm going to pull out an acetate and a new foam circle. It's funny, I think the foam circles are easier to pull out after the center foam has been used. So I always try to use that first and then use the foam circle. And you just carefully adhere that right to the card base. And I push it down a little bit. And there's a film on one side of the acetate sheets, so that should come off. But I start it so that I know that I can get it off. Put a little embossing buddy powder on the back just to help with static. We're in a very dry environment, but through the mail and heat and cold, I'm sure it can gain some condensation, and that will just help the shaker part stay nicer longer. Kind of like a cloudy window. So then I'm going to put a pinch of the silver stars in there. And I always make sure to close the bag because I haven't experienced this yet, but I really would not be happy if the bag got spilled because those are tiny stars. So now pull the adhesive off, make sure that the acetate has the film side up, then I pull that off. Again, just push it down to adhere. And I learned from the previous card 10 that I did that the liquid glue does not keep the paper adhered to the acetate. So I'm using just an ATG gun to put some double-sided adhesive around the circle. Make sure that there's none of the adhesive showing through, and then you just press it down. So now I'm going to make dots of glue for the little silver stars actually for the big die cuts. I was surprised because the blue end of that glue seems really big for the silver stars. So I'll probably grab a glue, that has a small tip. And that's just a bottle that I purchased and filled with the Tombow green lidded white glue. It goes on white, which I think you can see the spots better, but it dries clear. And by using that needle-nosed bottle, I'm able to get just a tiny drop of glue. And I needed a few more stars, so and zip the bag shut. I get picked on in this house because I'll like pour some lemonade or milk from the jug and I'll put the cap back on, even though I know I'm handing it to somebody else that's going to pour it. But I'm a capper. I'd rather cap it than to clean up the spills later. And I love these little stars. They add so much fun. It just gives a little bit of a shine to it. It's a lot of fun. Hopefully the person that receives this birthday card will have fun with it as well. And you saw that star move a little bit. That just shows how long that aqua adhesive stays a little wet to give time to adjust your card as you want. Now we're going to do some stamping on the inside. There's the happy birthday. And it is well seasoned, so I don't need to worry about that. So I'm going to do a splatter, Shimmer Brush splatter, where I grab the dry embossing tool and the black shimmer brush and kind of just hit it to splatter. You can't really see it on the camera, but there's a lot of them there. Ink up the happy birthday sentiment. And I forgot to put the foam underneath it until right now. And all the foam does is, it probably would have been fine had I stamped it without the foam insert from the stamp, but putting that under there just ensures a greater chance of clarity in the stamping. Also kind of helps even out human error of put more pressure on the right side than the left side. Going and adding some more stars with my jewel picker, turn that one over. I've said this before, but to me the stars in the shaker have like a dull side and a silvery, more reflective side, so I try to put the reflective side up. Alright, so that was a quick and easy card. It really did not take me long at all. I assembled both of these cards from start to finish in less than, 25 minutes, and that includes setting everything up, punching everything out. So they're really quick cards. If you already had stuff punched out, like I think the whole other set I could probably put together in a half hour and have just 12 really cool cards done. Some of it's just thinking about what, if I want to do splatter and which color. So again, I'm looking at card 12, how they have it oriented and laid out. Just going to try some different colored stars around the outside, just so that I know how many I can have to go inside the acetate shaker part. I must have thought that I was going to stamp something because I put the foam behind there. And then I changed my mind. There is a little splatter stamp that comes with the sentiment stamp in the kit. Oh, I'm going to stamp the inside and do the splatter. All right. And I'm just tucking those stars underneath the cover so that they don't get splatters on them, because the splatter range of this is pretty big. All right, easy peasy, that's done. Bring my stars back out. There's my foam, ink up my stamp. Like I said, this is going very quickly. It's funny once you kind of get in the groove and know what you want to do. It just happens, which is great. And now I'm going to stamp inside of the circle for the shaker card. You're the greatest. I always think that's nice to hear from at any time. So many people have amazing qualities and things that they do that they just don't see, and I think it's important to let people know how amazing you find them to be in whatever their area of expertise, or just things they take for granted. Could be cooking, could be driving, could be they're out look on life. I think all of us have something amazing in us, and it's good to celebrate that in others. So, and I'm struggling to get the clear thing off. I find if I just scratch a little bit with a fingernail, both sides, I can figure out which side has the plastic sheet, because it will actually wrinkle, where the acetate itself, it doesn't even get a scratch on it with my thumbnail. So filling in with the stars, making sure the color is all face up. Do a couple pinches of stars, some so that I can scatter them around, probably the inside and out. And I think on this card I didn't line up the acetate on the foam very well, and I ended up having some sticky showing through, and I don't do it on camera, I don't believe, but I did take my embossing buddy and powder it a little bit just to get that stickiness off the front of the card. Once again, I'm taking the tape gun and putting the double-sided adhesive tape on the blue circle. Oh, there, yep. Just a little bit that I was off. You can't really see it, but you can feel it. So I wanted to make sure that that didn't stick to the envelope or anything else for that matter. Once again, I'm just grabbing my fine tip glue bottle, dotting a whole bunch of stars because I really had fun with that. The jewel picker is a game changer for me, so it's a very inexpensive tool that I'm happy to have in my arsenal of weapons for crafting now. And I just kind of, you saw me in that pile shake it up a little. I was just trying to get a bunch of them turned over because it seemed like there was more dull ones up than shiny ones. And I'm just doing a top left to bottom right kind of splatter. It's something, that draws your eye down. When I sign it in the corner, it'll just go through happy birthday from us and life is good. So there's the two cards. If you haven't seen the other cards in the series, check them out. There's an up close view. I don't show the inside where the splatters are. Again, be sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more videos. Have a great day. Thank you.